be protected by God.
To my fellow light bearers, to my God-loving individuals, to my patriots, to my heroes, to my titans, I have returned, victorious once again. The vermin that would seek to destroy us has not subsided, but only has been weakened, for we will only win if we continue this eternal fight forever. So much is at stake. We threaten the world to fall into 1,000 years of darkness, but the night is always darkest just before the dawn, and the dawn has come. Federal judge just handed the DOJ a major defeat. The U.S. Justice Department cannot make cooperation with federal immigration policies a consideration in awarding grants to local law enforcement agencies for community-oriented policing, a federal judge said. The ruling in a lawsuit Los Angeles brought against U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions marks a new setback in President Donald Trump's efforts to crack down on sanctuary cities where police forces have refused to get involved in enforcing immigration law. U.S. District Judge Manuel Real agreed in a ruling Wednesday with the city's argument that the Justice Department had abused its power by awarding bonus points to grant applicants that commit to cooperating with federal immigration authorities and policies. The grant program was created to help local police departments hire officers for community-oriented policing, or COPS. Now, you might ask yourself, what the hell kind of country would allow such psychotic, communist behavior within their borders, and why these judges would be doing this? They wish to sell us out to benefit themselves temporarily, and they care not about any of us. They also wish to change the demographic outcome of not only America, but the Western Empire in general. They know, deep down inside, that the Renaissance man and the Western civilization has been the only ones to ever stand up and beat the globalists. We created the fairly new idea of freedom, and it will be us that reinstates it, probably by force. A storm is coming. As of 2012, the population of immigrants in the United States illegally is estimated to be approximately 11.43 million, roughly 3.7% of the entire U.S. population. 59% of the immigrants in the country illegally are from Mexico, and 25% of all immigrants in the country illegally reside in California. Big surprise, and I'll get to California a little bit later. 53% of the immigrants in the United States illegally are male. In 2008, approximately 31% of workers in the roofing industry and 27% of maids, housekeepers were immigrants living in the country illegally. Now, I can't really come down on the Hispanic people themselves too much, because I know why they came here. The main problem is that it's destroying the Western world and America by doing this crazy crap. Just so you can save a few dollars to destroy your country? Like, where do these people get off? So much greed. The demographic statistics below are based on estimates created by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service, and the PEW Hispanic Research Center. Let's take a look. Countries of origin. So as we can see, most of the immigrants come from Mexico, and some from South America, and even from across the world. Now let's take a look on how these demographic changes and how they vote. Let's take a look at the last election. And here we have it. Upwards of 98% of the immigrants coming into the Western Empire and America in particular, represented here by Black, Hispanic, Asian, and other. Now let's look how they vote. Democrat, 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 and Blacks is overwhelmingly Democrat. Like, that is almost unbelievable. The Democratic Party has sustained a brainwash mechanism over the black population. Well, longer than any of us have been alive, but that is truly pathetic. With the inner cities on fire and the murder rates skyrocket, they refuse to change. And here we have the Renaissance man. 58% of whites voted for Trump in the last election. So we see the future being kind of grim if this particular path continues exactly how it is. Now let's take a look at the potential and hopeful future for California. Breaking. He's urging California to break up. A billionaire venture capitalist is urging California to break up into 3 smaller states so it can better represent its citizens. Billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper says his petition to break up California into 3 states has garnered enough signatures for the initiative to be added to the ballot this November. Draper lobbied unsuccessfully for similar ballot initiatives in 2014 and 2016, but this year he said he was able to amass approximately 600,000 signatures, well more than the 365,000 required. The initiative reportedly will be submitted to election officials next week. CBS Los Angeles reported that the initiative proposes a central state that would consist of Los Angeles, Ventura, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, Monterey, and San Benito counties, a southern state made up of Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, Imperial, Kern, Kings, Fresno, Tulare, Inyo, Madure, and Mono counties, and the 40 remaining counties grouped into a northern state. On Tucker Carlson tonight, Draper said that the Cal Exit 3 proposal would give citizens better representation through 3 smaller state governments. And now we see the election of 2016 in California and what took place there. Hillary Clinton ended up with 7,362,000 votes. Of course, most of the illegals live in California, so we can pretty much guess who they voted for if they voted at all. Not to mention the dead people that kept voting, as the Democrats tend to cheat to win. But look, Trump ended up with almost 4 million votes, probably all legitimate too. So 4 million votes is quite an extent. So if we had California to break up, my guess is because of the Electoral College. Like, look how much red there is. For a state like California, Hillary Clinton should have won it by way more than she actually did. And by California breaking up, my guess is the Democrats would never win another election in history. Let's look at the map, and I'll show you what I mean. And now here we have the United States. And my point being that they could never win another election is just judging on what you're seeing here. Look, Hillary Clinton won just a few states. Barely anything. Just all the inner cities, all the major population centers, mainly because they want welfare and handouts, the major population centers. I've been in several inner cities, and that is what they do. It's a way of life, it's their culture. But, cut this into 3 or 4 pieces. How could the Democrats win ever again? The rest of the map is basically red, and it looks similar to this almost every single election. So, on our way back to the top to win big, we should almost make it a priority that California does break apart. For the Democrats' stronghold exists in California, and with 4 million voters for Trump in California, they need their own state, they need their own voice, so they don't have to deal with the psychosis of the left. Get ready for political chaos. And judging what I've seen so far, this is the actual picture of the GOP's incompetence right here. Remember when Paul Ryan wouldn't even back Trump, and now he's supposed to be on his side? Give me a break. Conservative Charlie Kirk on Fox Business stated the Democrats gain control of the House, it will be political chaos. Let's take a look.
Paul Ryan.
Sure.
Retiring. I think there's a leadership fight, and a nasty leadership fight, building up to the November elections, and I think that's bad for the Republicans.
So I'm a big football fan. I feel as if the House Republicans, the equivalent would be they're playing prevent defense. They're playing not to lose. And nothing ever good happens when you're trying to just retreat into oblivion. I wish they were going for the kill right now. I wish they were going to say, how many bills can we possibly pass before November to try to push our agenda forth to the American people? If the Democrats get control of the House, it's going to be total political chaos. And if you think we're divided now, just wait until they have these nonsense impeachment hearings.
They will.
And they start subpoena everything. And the market's going to go down because of that. And business is going to be a little bit more hesitant. And we're not going to get any more tax cuts. And this regulatory relief we see is going to be putting injunctions in courts. And so, look, Kevin McCarthy's fantastic. Steve Scalise's great. I'm sorry to see that now the focus is going to be who's going to be able to raise the most amount of money, be the next speaker. But you know what? I hope they're not trying to raise money to be minority leader, because we need to keep the House as Republicans, or else the Democrats are going to put this impeachment charade on center display, and it's not going to be good for the country.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, I don't see Paul Ryan not running again as something negative, even though Fox News, it is what it is. They're basically, spokespeople for the rhinos, whatever. But I don't see it as something negative, because a hero will rise. A new champion will come to take his place, just as Trump risen out of nowhere. No one ever saw it coming. The Word of God says, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, pray and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will heal their land." Now, with Trump winning, we all knew what it took to do it. Trump achieved what many believe to be impossible. We cannot allow him or us or the West to fail. God has given us a reprieve, a breath of fresh air to pull this together and to win big. Perhaps rebuild the world in his image this time. I think the thing that is most concerning is that the Republican rhinos don't actually care about making America great again. And even some of the people, how we lost the Alabama special election just boggles my mind. I have no idea how in the hell we ended up losing that, based on allegations with no proof whatsoever. We can't screw this up. This is our last shot. We win it now. And now we return to our sword against the enemy, the 48 laws of power. Conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Our victory will be certain.